The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Fellow citizens, following the sequence of events, Uganda seems to be at political crossroads.
I'm not a servant of anybody.
Madam, I know the law.
As such, Alternative Digital brings you the Interface Show with retired Colonel Dr. Kiza Besuje.
Let's keep on the same page on Alternative Digitalk,
As he gives you the alternatives on the transition question, rule of law, human rights and freedom, youth inclusion in governance, economic stagnation, as he confirms.
I'll be always here Saturday from 10 a.m. in the morning. Be there.
Don't miss the live discussion on the Alternative Uganda, Digitalk TV Facebook pages, and the Alternative Uganda YouTube channel.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
The Alternative Uganda Facebook page oba Digitalk TV. Amacha amalungi amacha gankuba empewo yokweri njaga okutegeza gwe munanga ina sinuses oba asthma oba ina allergy nti ate tewerabira okutambula n'ekintu ekibuguma oba ekigirikoti nga kino kyenyambadde oba kasweta oba kachayi mu botto oberenga ate munange oberanga obuguma kireme kuteteganya mirimo gyenaku z'omwezi ziri 14 tuli mu December omwaka 2022 gwe tukyatambuza tugubalira kati ennaku tuzibalira ku ngalo, and we are hoping to celebrate Christmas next week ku weekend nga tujaganya Christmas ey'omulundi guno mu mwaka gwa 2022. Njagala okubaaniriza ku program the Mighty Drive Molly ne Farida ngenda kubanga ntambatambuza mpolampola mu Mighty Global Updates paka wali sawange mu nekitundu omugenyi waffe wanatwegattirako ate ne co-host wange olunaku Mumbejja Lilian Luwedde. Ekiro ekyakesezza olunaku lwa yesterday abayekera ba ADF babadde nga balumbye ebitundu ebimu wali mu Ntoroko era nga abantu bali kutebuche abantu abamu badduse dda mu byalo byabwe ne bekunganiza ku masomero naye nga bano n'amagye ga UPDF tegabaganyiza kusala nnyo negataakenjirawo era kukomekereza mu kayolagano kano ng'abantu 14 kwaba abayekera be bafudde ate nga 8 be bakapcharinze ate nga owa UPDF omu ye yalugendeddemu naye yalusuddemu akaba mu kayolagano akabaddewo. Abamu babadde bagezaako okusala omugase muliko okuddayo eri gye bavudde so nga bano unfortunately nabo bagudde mu mu gogwo ne bafa ate nga emundu 17 zezakomezeddwawo ze bakapcharinze. So kati omuntu yandyebuuziza UPDF yatwala amagye Congo, kati bano abavuddeyo aba ADF babayiseeko batya okubanga ate bayingira Uganda. Naye nga kyonna embeera egenda mu Toroko side eyo tujja kubanga tugibatuusaako, naye nga bwe tugidde ku mpewo embeera bwetyo bweri. Kakati bwe tugendako mu district y'e Toro fuel tank yakutta omuliro, omuntu omu n'afiiramu ate ye driver ya survivinze, naye nga ebiwundu ya survivinze na bingi nnyo. Kakati ono yabadde agezaako okutereza motoka ne muwabako ne overturninga kukakananga ekutta omuliro, ate omuntu gwe yabadde atambula naye nga co-driver yabadde mu passenger seat ye yafiiriddewo omuliro gwamuyisiza bubi nnyo, naye nga yategerekeseeko nti yabadde mukyala, amannya ge tetunnagategeera, naye nga poliisi yategeezezza nti munnange yalusuddemu akaba ye yabadde mukyala, naye nga ye driver yawonye ya survivinze, naye nga ebiwundu yagenze na byamaanyi. Ba poliisi ntambulidde nnyo mu poliisi ndowooza olunaku lwaleero, police officers baafudde ate 11 ne bafuna injuries ez'amaanyi olwa police patrol yaabwe emmotoka eya patrol bwe ya overturninze wali eri mu trading center ye Pacho ku Gulu Kitogoma highway. Kakati bano abawonyeewoko bategeezeza nti driver waabwe yabadde nga ali mu ku overspeedinga era nga abantu 2 baalusuddemu akaba ate 11 ne basustaininga ebisago eby'amaanyi era nga bano bali wali mu Gulu hospital nga we bafunira obujjanjabi. So nno poliisi mmwe nga kirungi nti mwe abakwasiza empisa tujja basaba nammwe mukendeezeeko ku speed gye muvuga naddala nga muli mu kukola ebikwekweto eba si nnungi nnyo. Abasirikale wali mu district ye Mubende ababadde bakwasiza oba abateeka ebiragiro bya president mu nkola ebyokugezaako okutangira Ebola obutasaasaana. Bano nno bwe baali nga bali mu kwenforcinga curfew baavaayo ne bagoba omuntu paka mu nnyumba ye ne basamba oluggi. Kakati mu kusamba oluggi lwagenda ne lukoona sigiri eyaliko obuugi ne bwokya ne buyiikira omwana. Bano nno okulaga ejjoogo baavaayo ne batwala emitwalo 8 mu ddwaliro awali wajjanjabirwa omwana ono. Abazadde ne bavaayo ne bagamba nti nedda ssebo emitwalo 8 tegigenda kujjanjaba mwana because ya sustaining a lot of injuries. Tebamanyi oba n'obulamu bwe anaabuwonya. Omukulu Sekyanzi Richard nga ye taata w'omwana ye yagamba nti abasajja bamusanga ku veranda we bavaawo ne bamugoba mpaka mu nnyumba. Kati ate omuntu we yali ayingidde mu nnyumba omuntu yali ebuuzizza poliisi yali esamba oluggi lwaki because baali bagaddewo. Kati bano ne bakozesa eryanyi ne basamba oluggi ne lukoona sigiri. Tujjukire nti emizigo w'ofumbira mwe musula kyonna. So ne lukoona sigiri eyaliko septi y'obuugi ne buyiikira omwana eyali awo kumpi omwana wa mwaka gumu n'ekitundu. Ono nno apooca n'ebiwundu mu ddwaliro. Bano baavuddeyo ne beekubira omulanga ne bagamba nti baagala abasirikale bano bakwatibwe ate bajjanjabe n'omwana waabwe. Naye nga bano abasirikale be bagamba abaali mu kikwekweto kino batutegeezezzaako nti kati baliira ku nsiko olw'okuba nti ate ensonga yatuuse mu mawulire. Disciplinary Committee ya Parliament yatandise investigations ku mukulu zaake era bano babadde n'obu videos bwe babatwalidde. Naye ekyenaku nti ate obu video akamu ke batutte aka CCTV nga tekaliiko ddoboozi ate akalagiddwayo mu eno committee nga ate tekalina we kalaga mukulu zaake nga yeekalakaasa ku nsonga ze yali awaayo wali mu Parliament ng'omukulu tayebwa yatudde mu mitambo. So bano nga omukulu ka Abdul Katuntu yategeezezza nti Zaoke yamuwandiikidde n'amutegeeza nga bw'atali mu ggwanga era bano ne bagamba nti bagenda kuwandiikira speaker oba bagenda musaba abategeeze Zaaka abategeeze ddi lwakomawo mu ggwanga. Ndowooza okunoonyereza kutambule bwe kutyo naye nga basuubira okuddamu okutuula mu ntandika y'omwaka ogujja mu 2023 ate beeyongereyo n'okunoonyereza kwabwe nga ku mukulu ono omubaka gwe bagamba nti yalaga indiscipline nga parliament eri mu session omubaka Zaake Francis Butebi oweri Emitiana. Then olunaku lwakusatu ndowooza nja kubanga mbategeezaamuko nti ate 16 days of activism zaggwako tuba tuli mu mwezi gwa December kati olwo okutandika okugaba n'okusanyuka kubanga kutuuse. Mwezi guba gwa kugaba, mwezi guba ate gwa kusanyuka na kusiima okwebaza Katonda okubanga ate akusobozesezza okumalako omwaka. Bwe tugendako mu district y'e Kitgum, Police Commander omukulu Sud Mansour bamukubye, abasajja bamukakkanyeeko ne bamukuba, we yakubye traffic officer oluyi olw'okumuyimiriza nga bamugamba ate mmwe abatugamba twenforcinge zino ate lwaki gwe togoberera mateeka. Omukulu ono yabadde ku piki nga tayambadde helmet ate nga talina ne reflector. Omusajja yabadde akulira ekikwekweto kya traffic n'amuyimiriza n'amugamba olw'ensonga nti mmwe abakwasiza amateeka mwali badde ekyokulabirako eri abo abalala. Kaakati ono we yalabye nga ono munne amukaliddemu n'amusala oluyi. Kati mu kayoolaganaako bali ababadde ku kikwekwete kyaba traffic balabye nga ate omukulu abakulira bamukubye oluyi nabo ne bakkakkana ku ono DPC omukulu Sud Mansour naye ne bamukuba mizibu. Ebyo nno byabadde sides eyo ekitugumu. Bwe tuddako wano mu Kampala, omukulu Archbishop Kazimba Stephen yavuddeyo n'awoninga abakristaayo n'abagamba nti bannaye mwerinde abantu abeerimbika okweyita abafaatha oba ba reverend mu kana akadde ka Christmas, nti abantu bano era mubeegendereze nnyo be mukyaze ewammwe mbufaatha azettusabirako babantu bano abebeerimbikamu be bamala okulaba ebiri ewaka ne bakomawo ekiro ne bababba. So yavudde n'abategeeza nti mubeere babulindaala nnyo eri abo abantu abeefuula ekyo kye batali. Onono yayogedde bino ng'ali ku mukolo ogwa ordination wali ku All Saints Cathedral e Nakasero we babadde ng'ate ba-coordinating aba priests ne ba reverends. Yavudde n'abategeeza nti guno omwezi omanyi abakristaayo tubeeraawo jangu tusabireko ewaka manya leero tugenda kyaza father. Yabagambye n'abategeeza nti waliyo abantu ababeerimbikamu ng'ate si batuufu. So n'abategeeza nti mubeere bulindaala nnyo eri abantu bano era mubeekengere omuntu gw'otwala ewuwo kubanga osaba naye manya ogenda kulya naye olunaku olukulu teekwa okubanga omuntu ono omumanyi nnyo. Yavudde n'abategeeza nti ate munnange abeba abantu be mukyaze ewammwe ne bamala okulaba ye muyina ewaka ate ne bakomawo after 2 days of that very night ne bababba. Kati ne mwebuuza omuntu ono yategedde atya biki ebiri mu nnyumba kumbe ng'ate gwe wamweyingiriza mu nnyumba yo. Olunaku lwa leero omukulu Joseph Cabretta lwasuubirwa okubanga akomezebwawo mu kooti wali Nakawa ku Chief Magistrates Court. Kaakati ono yasindikirwa eruzira nga 30th omwezi gwa November era tumusuubira okukomawo leero. Engeri gy'agamba nti yateekamu okusaba kwe nti mulwadde era ng'asaba bailo katusuubire nti ate bailo enamuweebwa. Ono nno gya grade 1 magistrate Rita Kidasa Naumbe yatudde mu musango gwe. Ono yavaayo n'abategeeza nti alina emisango mingi nnyo ensonga lwaki teyawuliriza kusaba kwe okwa bail. Katusuubire nti olwaleero emisango gyakendera mu koko n'abawuliriza nga basaba bail era agibawe osanga. Kakati former minister owa primary education omukukyala Rosemary Seninde yavuddeyo n'ategeeza ababaka abamu ku NRM yabadde ng'ali mu kwadressinga wali Bunyambugu mu district n'abategeeza n'avaayo n'ayogera ku mukulu treating general n'agamba nti yegendereze nnyo ebintu bya tweetinga so oyinza okubanga biyinza okuhatinga NRM ne gavumenti ya tatawe neggwanga okutwaliza awamu. Ono yavudde n'abategeeza nti tweets zino omukulu Jerome Muhoozi zakola ziri mu kwawulamu ekibiina naddala ensonga zalaga nti yeegwanyizawo obwa president. Yavuddeyo nti kireese enjawukana mu kibiina kya NRM era n'avaayo n'abategeeza nti nno omukulu ono yeekomeko kubanga tamanyi kiki statements ze kyeziri mukola mu kibiina. Ono mukyala ye kati ye mobilizer owa NRM yavuddeyo n'abategeeza nti zino statements oba tweets omwana ono zazaakola gye buvuddeko awo ziri mu kuhatinga ekibiina ate oli awo zandihatinga ne gavumenti ya taatawe ne Uganda okutwaliza awamu. Essaawa eryemu ndowooza eddakiika 22 zakayita ku ssaawa emu. Ngenda kubanga nkoma wano ne global updates wenaakomawo ngenda kubeera n'omukyala Lilian Luwedde ate ne guest waffe olunaku leero tugenda kwogera the role of teachers in nation building. Tugenda kulaba abasomesa bo omulimu gwabwe guliwa mu kuzimba eggwanga. So nja kusaba beerako okyali ku Mighty Drive tugenda kubanga ate tutambulira ddala paka wali ssaawa 3 ez'amakya gonnaku olwaleero. Very good morning enaakomawo ngenda kubanga ate ndeeta ne quote of the day.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Fellow citizens, following the sequence of events, Uganda seems to be at political crossroads.
I'm not a servant of anybody.
Madam, I know the law.
As such, Alternative Digital brings you the Interface Show with retired Colonel Dr. Kiza Besuje.
Let's keep on the same page on Alternative Digitalk.
As he gives you the alternatives on the transition question, rule of law, human rights and freedom, youth inclusion in governance, economic stagnation, as he confirms.
I'll be always here Saturday from 10 a.m. in the morning. Be there.
Don't miss the live discussion on the Alternative Uganda, Digitalk TV Facebook pages, and the Alternative Uganda YouTube channel.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
But tukomyewo ku mpewo tulina omugenyi waffe yatwegaseeko. Good morning once again. Farida bikobere ge mannya gange negatiddwako omumbejja Lilian Luwedde ne Mr. Karamira George. Tugenda kubanga ate twogera nsonga za busomesa. Nsonga za busomesa abasomesa bo kiki ekibakakatibwako kubanga bakola oba their role in nation building bo buvunanyizibwa bwabwe mu kuzimba eggwanga buliwa era bo babukola bwe bate babukola what is stopping them from doing their roles as teachers. So mukwano tugenda kubanga nkusaba tugenda tambula mpolampola. We are going to do Luganda Luzungu because I am not sure whether my guest can do Luganda perfectly, so we are going to mix. So we are going to give it a mix, English and Luganda tambulirawo mpola mpola. Nenga quote of the day is Prevention is better than cure, especially when something has no cure. Prevention is better than cure, especially when something has no cure. I was meant to give this quote yesterday, but the other one I gave yesterday was best. So I kept this one for today. Nga twabadde twogera ku nsonga za HIV/AIDS. So olwaleero ensonga tukyali mu mwezi gwe tu celebratingiramu World AIDS Day. Quote yange eba ekyatuula mu bulungi nnyo. Bw'olabanga ekirwadde ekitayina cyowa mukwano kyewale. Ekitayina ddagala nti nsobola okugenda mu ddwaliro ne bampa eddagala n'empona. Kya mugaso nnyo oba kya nkizo nnyo n'okyewala okusinga ate bw'onaakifuna n'obeera ku ddagala obulamu bwo bwonna. So it is better to prevent something ky'omanyi nti kigenda fuka chronic nti it is going to live with you for the rest of your life. Kyokka nga walina chance ekyewala. So for that reason njja bakubiriza bana HIV waali ate bw'omufuna tawona. When you get it, tajja kuwona paka lw'oliva mu bulamu bw'ensi eno. So it is better okumwewala. It is easier to have one partner. It is easier to abstain, not to have. It is not a must that you should be having a partner by your side. Right. It is not a must that you should be using a condom. You should can abstain. You can just say, I am off relationships, I'm not doing anything, till you feel you are ready for you be and mature enough that you can handle one single partner. Kusinga ate bona tambula mwono noli abana abawala, I want to advise you njaba kubira omulanga bana yemuve ku bantu abali older than you. Those guys, those people are spreading obulwadde buno ne babuza mumwe ate ne mubuza mu baana abavubuka abano abato ab'emyaka gya 18. It's not cool. So njabategeeza HIV/AIDS has no cure, so but you can prevent it, you can avoid it. I mean, you can avoid it. So if tokwewala okumira eddagala for the rest of your life, avoid it, and otherwise you can avoid it. Mva kuzimenyaawo. So that is the quote of the day. Since nnyo motivational speaker w'olunaku nze just mbadde njagala kubawayo ka quote. Good morning, Lillian.
Good morning, Farida.
Nice to have you on set. Bajja kungamba motivational speaker luli omwana yangamba motivations don't last. So I'm like, yes, even bathing doesn't last. The reason why we bathe every day, so the reason why I should be giving you motivations every day, because they don't last.
Bathing but very good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for keeping it the Alternative Digitalk. It's yet another edition of the Mighty Drive. So tulakalira kakuba kakedde okutonya kansuubire osobodde okuba ng'ogenda okukola mukyala Farida omulabe neesabika gye yeesabiseemu ekulagira nti embeera y'obudde si nnungi naye nga mbabuuzaako era gye tusizidde okuba nga mutulabaze omumbejja luwedde. Lilian, mbaaniriza nnyo olunaku olwaleero ate ku edition endala eya Mighty Drive olunaku lwakusatu naye nga nnyongera okubategeeza nti ennaku enkulu zisembedde eya saving ez'omukabokisi ng'oteeseteese okuddeeko okugulira abantu ab'ewaka ebirabo n'ebirala bingi nnyo munnange kansubire shopping yatandise dda naye kansooke nnamuse ku mugenyi waffe ow'olunaku olwaleero. Tugenda kuba nga tukozesa ennimi bbiri, oluzungu awamu n'oluganda okusobola okulaba nti audiences zaffe zonna ate munnange basobola okubaako kye baganyulwa mu program ey'olunaku olwaleero. Tutunuulira nsonga y'abasomesa bwe kituba ku kuzimba eggwanga oba ku kuzimba ate society oba ebitundu gye tuwangaalira omulimu gwabwe guli ki y'abaffe ensonga z'abasomesa. Lwaki ate kati tuwulira abasomesa nga bavayo beekalakaasa? Nze we nasomera si bbanga ddene nnyo naye kyabanga kizibu nnyo okuwulira nga abasomesa beekalakaasizza wasaawuliranga bulungi. Si bbanga kyobanga si bbanga ddene saawuliranga abasomesa beekalakaasanga kati bwekiri kubanga ne waliwo omulundi ogumu we nawulirako okwekalakaasa kw'abasomesa neera nesigala nga mbalaba nga bazze okusomesa mu ssomero kati kitegeeza
badifying omanyi we bwekalakaasa wabeerawo agamba anyway abo batulwanire ffe tujja bisanga.
Kakati nzaawe ebisabitegeera nnyo naye kati ndaba kiringa nga ate ekisusse. So let's welcome our guest of the day. You most welcome, Mr. George.
Thank you.
Say hello to our viewers and introduce yourself.
I'm called Karamira George.
Yes.
Sarongo. I'm a teacher by profession, and I do some bit of politics.
Okay.
And that's me.
So we are going to do some bit of politics since you do it. Some bit of politics.
It's okay.
So the only difference between me and Mr. George is I am a deserter, he's a retired.
Yes.
By the way, let me reintroduce myself. I am a teacher by profession, English and literature. Anyway, but I am a deserter.
I'm a teacher by working here.
I have never practiced. I've never practiced teaching, but I am a teacher. I have a degree from Mackay University.
Okay.
So I am really happy that I am having a person of my profession. No, because he practiced and they studied and then take a wali degree. So that you know he practiced, so he has experience. He can kwogera bulungi nnyo ensonga eziruma abasomesa na lwaki ennaku zino tebava mu kwekalakasa kimu bibiri tusuddewo ebikola bw'oba wasomera Makerere tosobola malako semester nga abalekitara tebeekalakasiza kimu bibiri tetugenda jja kugenda mu lecture rooms balecturers bagenda ku strike every semester every beginning or end of semester they will strike over Saturday oba emmere. Two things. So I don't know what exactly, away from Makerere lecturers, what exactly is the problem of teachers? Abali no wansi mo universities endala ate nemo zino high schools, primary schools, and we need to know their roles in nation building. Mutu yali gambye nti abasomesa beba wa amagezi. Of course we impact knowledge. We as teachers. So I really we impact knowledge. We teach lawyers, or we teach the doctors of today's, we teach everyone, so we give knowledge. That is our role, one of our roles. I don't want to be giving roles, but one would really want to know who is Mr. George away from you doing politics. Where did you practice your teaching? Are you still practicing, or you are retired?
I retired from teaching. I started teaching in a secondary school in Kambuga district, Bishop Kombon College. From Bishop Kombon College, I transferred to Ruhanga Adventist Secondary School, where I taught for a long time as a classroom teacher, as a deputy headmaster, and finally as headmaster of that school for over 16 years. And now I'm retired. I'm just seated at home and doing my own things. Teaching is a noble profession. Teaching is a good profession. Knowledge is our stock in trade. We impart knowledge to everybody, from children to elders. Even now we are giving knowledge. I want to thank the Digitalk for the knowledge you are imparting to the nation. This is nation building.
So that is what makes us all teachers.
Yes. Knowledge is power.
You're not a teacher.
Yeah.
I am a teacher.
Knowledge is power.
We are imparting knowledge.
Yes. Okay. When somebody has knowledge, then he's empowered. When he's talking, when he's walking, you can know.
You see the confidence.
Yes, that confidence. And that's what teachers do, to build that confidence in the pupils we are teaching, in the adults we are giving the knowledge. We are building their confidence.
Wow. We want to really, through your journey as you were practicing teacher, what were the problems that were affecting teachers? Are they the same problems that are still affecting teachers even now?
Teachers, in the environment they live in the circumstances that prevail, they face a lot of problems. And well, when I was practicing, we didn't have many teachers going into strikes. It was the other way around. The students were striking. But these days, because of the economic problems and other problems that we are facing in the country, and other countries, I think that's why we have teachers also going to strike. In the past, a teacher was looked at as a person who is a role model. Many people are looking at a teacher as a role model. And we, through my journey, we did not go into any strike.
Because you were content with what you were being given with your profession, because now teachers are striking because of low pay, low salary.
Yes.
Then you were content with the amounts you were receiving.
At that time, because of our training, we were content with whatever we were getting.
Okay. So now these ones of these days who are striking, they're not contented with what they are getting.
They are not contented, and from what they are, from the environment, from what they are seeing, from what they are hearing, striking is, I think, the solution to many problems people face.
Okay. The major issue they are fronting is salary.
Yes.
So that is the major problem they are facing. So should they look at this the salary as okay? Should they look at this profession as a mean of getting money, or why they are doing it out, or why they have to do it out of passion?
When I was in a teacher training college, I was told that we become teachers because we love teaching. It's a call. Teaching profession is, all professions are supposed to be, there is that call that one has in him or her to become what he's supposed to be. So teaching at that time, we were trained that it is a call, it's a calling, whether there is any, problem that you'll face, you will have to do that job.
Okay.
There is a problem with where we start saying that this profession is a calling. Now, because it is a calling, it goes with low pay. Like wewereza, wewereza tebabu sasulira. Wewereza, you go do it wholeheartedly, and then whatever you are given, it is a thank you. It is thank you for the services you have really given. It is a service. Yeah, because it's a, but I think because we pay to gain these skills, we should be paid, even if it is a calling.
Yes. We
should be paid some amount of money to make us able to sustain ourselves, keep our kids in school, and then us to deliver at school. Because even when I have the skills, I am this good teacher, but when I have problems at home, I will not deliver at school, because what is at home gives me the energy to go and deliver at school. I think they have a point in low salary. I don't know whether the choice they made to demand for is the right way.
What, from my own perspective, what I see, there is a big problem with the profession, where some teachers are being paid higher and others are not considered for payment.
Science teachers.
Yes.
Are paid highly.
So when that imbalance comes in, then some teachers become demoralized. Yeah, they feel, why should some science teachers be paid higher? And
because we pay the same tuition, sit in the same
we go to the
classes,
same schools,
universities,
teach the same lessons, we live in the same environment, and we, face the same problems. But you find some teachers are being, given higher salary increment, and others are not considered for payment. And that one promotes discontent and demoralizes teachers, yes.
But now, Mr. George, if we look at the number of students who are taking science subjects right now,
yes,
it's decreasing compared to those days. So I think the reason as to why the president came out to say that, science teachers' salaries should be increased, it's because they want to motivate more students to do sciences, and then more teachers to be teaching science subjects.
You see, science subjects, when the students are learning sciences, they learn science subjects together with other subjects.
Exactly.
Science subjects are taught in English, for instance. I am a biology chemistry teacher. In one of our workshops, we were asking, why can't we teach some of these subjects in our own language? Then we were told there are some concepts, there are some words in chemistry that you cannot translate, say, in a Ryankole.
For example, carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide. So some of these subjects, they are taught in English. So if you are planning to encourage students to learn sciences, then you need to encourage students to learn English. that what I'm trying to explain is that if you are motivating a science teacher, then an English teacher should also be motivated, so that the subjects can come out properly.
But now the science teacher is different from the English teacher in this way. For the sciences, we are doing practicals.
Yes.
And then they need a lot of work to explain to students, oh, this is now sodium permanganate, this is sodium hydroxide, this is this is that.
Yes.
Unlike English, you'll say this is a book, I mean, it's a book just like that, you'll see it as a book. So I think that is where these teachers differ. Don't you think so?
I don't think. Of course, you're asking.
I don't think, because if the reports written in practical subjects, they are written in English, all the reports. And if you are writing your reports in English in science subjects, and the English is not properly, expressed, then you are not going to get a correct mark in that subject.
What Salong is trying to say is, if a student cannot comprehend properly in English, they cannot get what they are being taught in biology.
But now
because biology is totally taught in English.
Okay, let's compare sciences to arts. Let's compare biology to history.
Yes.
Don't you think those two fields are different? Because these are sciences, are practicals and all that. But then history, we're just learning about people who ruled in the past and all that.
Yes, they are different, because there is that practical aspect in science subjects. But again, it is not that practical subject that is, being based on to increase the salaries of science teachers. Because a history teacher has lessons like a science teacher. The load, when you talk about the load. The science teacher does not have a bigger load than an arts teacher, the history teacher. All the loads are the same.
So they do not deserve an increment. Actually, an increment should go to all teachers.
Yes, all round. Yeah.
I'm not contented, but let's continue.
Okay, you will get contented outside the
Along
studios.
the way.
Outside the studios, when we are talking Uganda properly. Actually, but just to say is, English and science, these two cannot be separated, because you are teaching your chemistry in English.
Yes.
And since you are teaching your chemistry in English, then the English teacher should be motivated. For them to be able to teach the students the English, and then they understand, and then they come and understand your chemistry in your classrooms.
Yes.
That is the whole discussion. And I think the government can reconsider their decision, and they do the salary increment all around science and arts. So these teachers are motivated and they can do their work. Ngabali content. Because when you do omulimu gonga oli contented, gukwango yirokola, because you know you are being paid, and what you're being paid is enough.
But Farid and Mr. George, I want us to agree that these fields are arts, sciences, but a little bit different.
But what we're saying is, when you go to the classroom setting, they have the same lessons. You do the same work. You do the scheme of work. You do the lesson plans. You are given the same lessons. If it is 40 lessons a term, and a history teacher will have 40 lessons, and a chemistry teacher will have 40.
My argument is, omwana okwasa all these names, the sodium what, the that 2 and all that, it needs a lot of it needs a lot of explaining. Compared to history, I mean, what is going on in this government, or the other government, you just have to write about European history and all that. It's a little bit easy. Or compared to this field air practicals, you will go to the lab and then they tell you, now this is a Bunsen burner, this is how it works and all that. It needs time to explain, and for that student to get to understand. Unlike the history.
Granted, right? Yes.
Yes. So that is where my argument comes. Ndio mukulembeze gwanga did a right thing okongeza the salaries of the science teachers zineza arts nazireka.
Omukulembeze gwanga yakola kale Lilian yakola ekituufu tugende naawo. I want us to go into the roles of teachers in nation building.
Farida, I was expressing my views because I served as headmaster.
Yeah.
When you become a headmaster, heading the science and the arts
and the
teachers,
yes.
and you are conducting a meeting, you are setting programs to begin a term or a year. When you have teachers who are not balanced, you get a problem at the administrative level. But these teachers sit in the same staff room, they eat the same meals, they sleep in the same houses. So when you separate them, in terms of payments, then leading them and administering them becomes a big problem.
But now that is what is happening in the world. Teachers are paid less, MPs are paid highly. I think teachers do a very, very big role in nurturing nurturing people and then the world compared to the MPs.
That was what was happening even in the past. We did not have these strikes, as we were saying, as Farida was saying. Teachers were contented with the little they were getting.
Yeah.
But when it came to
The
the imbalance, then problems started coming up.
Problem came in. But MPs and teachers have totally different environments, and their work scope is totally different.
We consider that teachers okubanga bebasomesa la MPs batuga bebasomesa ba lawyers
but their roles in nation building actually
their fields
are totally different. But these ones, science teachers and arts teachers, are doing the same things. What is the problems that are going to come in is arts teachers are going to say, I am doing 20 lessons a term because I am being paid less, and the science teacher should do 60 because they're being paid highly. So we don't care. So it is going to get to bring in a lot of problems in relation to performance. You are going to see performing in history because it is easier for a teacher to come in class. Our history teacher in senior fair, you remember, he used to come to class without even a book, but he would tell you soon Ali and his empire, and you will understand everything.
More science.
Which is totally different inside. But I can come and teach you these practicals. Manya litmus paper chetan is blue. You know that is oxygen reaction. So you have these things. I think it is out of experience that you will have the things in your brains because you have taught them for many years.
Yes.
So you have them. You are teaching the same things every year. Actually, the curriculum of Uganda never changes. You will teach the same things. Bichu kam katini nyo na yet the topics, everything, how you teach, how you go to classes, how you bring in your topics, your lessons, how you conduct yourself, it is the same. Okay. So these teachers, because of the imbalances, you are going to see even service delivery is going to totally change. Because I agree with Mr. George. I guess so, Lillian, you are on your own today.
You agree because you're teachers.
No, not because, but I am not practicing, but I would agree with him because I do not, even when we are at work, the reason why they say your salary is your salary, don't tell it to anyone, is because when someone will know Lillian is getting $1 million and I am getting 400, and we are doing the same things, I will be demotivated. And I will be asking, what is it that she's doing that I can't do?
That's right.
Practical. Okay, Mr. George, I would like to hear from you. Why are we having a decrease in the number of students who are doing science subjects? Is it the teachers that are not teaching well? Is it the students that are not mastering these things very well? What's the problem?
It's not the teachers that are not teaching well or the students not learning properly. But the environment, the teaching and learning environment in our communities is not really favorable to the teaching of sciences. You'll find a school, a young school, which is being brought up, does not have a proper laboratory. And students, to learn some of these practical subjects, they need equipments, lab equipments, they need specimens, and when students are learning science as if they are learning history, it becomes a big problem. And at passing and the failing rates becomes high, and students get demoralized.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the problem is with the schools where these students go.
Yes.
But then we also have these students who are in the schools where these facilities are there. We have the labs, we have the what is needed. And then we are seeing students failing.
Students failing, there are so many, things that come out for students not to perform very well. As I was saying, all the subjects need to be properly grasped. Because when you look at how Uganda National Examinations Board gives grades, if you don't pass mathematics and English, they cannot give you grade 1.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and I think there is a lot of work to be done in science subjects, and maybe I should think students find it cumbersome and they don't want to get bothered.
Is it because it is easier to cram these art subjects? You see, it is easier to cram history, European history, Napoleon Bonaparte, or the reasons that led to his...
because you know what happens in this regime, it's something happening.
It could be difficult to cram the science part of it, the science subjects. Could it be that teachers are teaching these students to cram, not to understand?
Actually, the teaching and learning that is going on in our schools is about cram work. Oh. It's about cram work. We teach students to produce what you have taught them. And that's becomes a very big problem.
So when it comes to chemistry, cramming those formulas,
yes.
How to prepare carbon dioxide in the laboratory,
yes.
is really difficult.
Yes.
And so the poor performance.
Yes.
Oh. So what should be done?
I think the government should put more emphasis on improving the learning environment. The teachers should be motivated, first of all. Then the learning environment should be improved by providing learning equipments and guidance and counseling. Our students should be guided and counseled to give them.
You see, you have this thing of these science subjects are hard to pass. Math is very hard. We've had people.
Mentality.
So that mentality of these science subjects are hard to pass. How do we go about it? How do we encourage these students? How do we show them the good side of these science subjects or doing science subjects?
This is where I was going to. If we can get some teachers to guide our students right from when they are still young, they can be properly guided. Because as it is said that science subjects are very hard, they are not really very hard. It gets into somebody's mentality, and once one thinks that science subjects are hard, then
it will be hard.
Yeah.
You see, sometimes omubiri gwo gukolagana nnyo n'endowooza yo. For as long as you said that is very hard, even if you put in the energy, but you already know it is hard to do, you will not do it.
You're given a physics paper, yeah, practical.
Yes. Yes.
Glass block and all that. Not in the paper, and then things are not coming out. Things are not working out for you. It's a different thing. So unlike the history of Jakujukirawo, in the other year, I learned it in
no, the only
and then the Mau Mau rebellions, Zininge Zifanagana, so what a very no be taken. Unlike
no, in sciences, if you are properly taught and guided with those practical skills, things cannot be difficult.
They were difficult.
Because to you, Lilian.
No, that there is that liquid we took somewhere and then you stop.
That is pipetting.
It must paper turns blue, mine turned white. It remained white. There is nothing that
because
happened.
You had wrong amounts. You did wrong amounts. You cannot bring that to everyone. But I want to talk about the career guidance that used to take place in schools.
Yes.
How relevant was it, and why is it not that much being taken up currently?
During my time when I was practicing, career guidance was a very, very, very good thing to our students because these young children need to be guided on what they are supposed to do. The benefits the country is going to get out of them once they come out, and that guidance was very, very, very good and helpful. Unlike these days, I don't know, I've not done some research to know whether there is still guidance and counseling in schools. I don't know. I'm yet to learn.
It is there, but not to our period. Because counseling and guidance, yes, we used even to have teachers that you would call your father. They would group you in 5-5 and they would give you a teacher. That is your father at school.
Yes.
So any problems, these things never happened. I just call Lily and it's surprised. So let me tell you, like they will get like senior 6 class, and I would group you into 5-5, and they will give you a particular teacher. Group B, that is your father here.
Yes.
For any problems, everything that you are facing, you have a problem with a certain teacher, you go and report to your father, and they would give you someone you are really free with. They will ask you which teacher would you love to have. So you say, yeah, we want Mr. George. Yes. Because you would go to Mr. George and ask for a Katenike. When daddy comes, he will give you, he will call daddy and daddy will send, and then he will So these things used to help us to say our like
of surviving in school and then
you would say, okay, get math, but I think math teacher and it is the reason why I'm not performing well. And these teachers would call you and talk to you. Why are you not performing well in chemistry? Where is the problem? Why are you performing very highly in Sierra E? I used to perform very good in Sierra E. And everyone would get surprised. Why are you performing in Sierra E? And you aren't performing in commerce? I used to have problems in commerce.
Numbers.
So, I don't think because it was numbers or what. I just had problems with commerce. So they would be asking me, what is the problem? Why are you not performing in commerce? And commerce, people would think commerce is easy. So these counseling sessions helped us. Yeah. But there are these particular career guidance days that we used to have. They would get us people from outside, those professionals, come and talk to us. When you do these subjects properly, you are going to be a teacher. If you want to be a doctor, you need to concentrate
these
on
subjects,
chemistry. So, you know, but do you know we have students who want to be doctors, but they are getting a 0.9 in chemistry, and you wonder what kind of doctor you're going to become. So I think
you have that passion.
But the passion goes with hard work and then
yes.
So
but
passion.
Now, is it the teachers that changed? What happened? Because right now we no longer have, or we no longer get to hear that all students are having counseling sessions or career guidance sessions.
I think I really can't know what happened, but I would encourage that those sessions, the counseling and guidance sessions, should be promoted in schools.
In schools, it helps. It helps really build students' confidence and all that kind of stuff. Ndoza tunatera kuwummula oba tetulina kuwummula. Zezo tugende mu kuwummula.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
You have got to get up pretty early to go do something. We are the Alternative Digitalk. With our mobile studios, we are redefining TV presentation just as technology is setting the pace. We are blending our approach with fresh, perspectively designed breakfast show, The Mighty Drive, informative and entertainment show, exclusive and live interviews.
We President Museveni wadde juzi namulaba apima akawunga kilo 2 tasobola kalya nini bwaba alya kilo 5 oyannema okuliisa eggwanga ne bwe limundekera.
Njagala kwebaza the Alternative Digitalk etuwadde kano ka Mighty Drive era n'abatuwuliriza bonna abali ku mikutu njagala basaba mugendo mu maaso n'okuwuliriza.
All given to you just a click away on your phone, tablet, laptop and smart TVs as we are streaming live on our social media platforms, on the road and on the go. We are the Alternative Digitalk.
Fellow citizens, following the sequence of events, Uganda seems to be at political crossroads.
I'm not a servant of anybody.
Madam, I know the law.
As such, Alternative Digital brings you the Interface Show with retired Colonel Dr. Kiza Besuje.
Let's keep on the same page on Alternative Digitalk,
As he gives you the alternatives on the transition question, rule of law, human rights and freedom, youth inclusion in governance, economic stagnation, as he confirms.
I'll be always here Saturday from 10 a.m. in the morning. Be there.
Don't miss the live discussion on the Alternative Uganda, Digitalk TV Facebook pages, and the Alternative Uganda YouTube channel.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
It's still at the Mighty Drive. Tukena masono kubanga tukuweereza olunaku olwaleero olunaku lwakusatu munange bwe tuba olwokusatu ebeera Ladies Wednesday bwentonze bwenkiyita olunaku luba lw'abakyala era mu studios ndina omumbejja Farida Bikobere awamu n'omugenyi waffe yatwegaseko dda omwami Karamira George ono nno omwami musomesa he's a teacher by profession naye nga lwakuba nti yawumula naye nga munnange field eno agitegeera bulungi nnyo era ategeera ebizibu ebigisoomooza buti abaana bwe beetaaga okuba nga bahandlingibwa okuba nga bategeera ebintu bino. We had that mentality and I know it's still on ey'okuba nti science subjects are very hard, math is very hard naye nga ate subjects zino endala eza arts oli alabira ddala nga asobola okuyitawo ne bw'aba nga tagenze n'asoma nnyo asobola okuba nga atuuka mu pepa n'ajjukira ebyali mu rebellion eri endala n'abireetamu eno rebellion simama mumawe byaliyo nebyo ebiringa ebyali mu magimagi so n'agezaako okuyitirawo naye for sciences byetaaga okuba nga oyitaayitamuko n'oddamu bwe ziba practicals n'oddamu n'oyisaayisaamu so that omanya chemical eno bwenjigatta ne chemical gundi what exactly do I get oba results ezivaamu ziba zirabika zitya oba ziba zifaanana zitya so mu sciences tukirize temuli mu cram works ekyo temuli mu bya kuranga
oyagala kukkiriza nange Temuli.
Tukanyiza ku nsonga yemu. Okay, tukyagenda maaso, we are still on the Mighty Drive. Tuli mu ssaawa yaffe ey'okubiri. Osobola okuba ng'obeera part of the discussion ng'ogenda butereevu ku page yaffe ya Alternative Uganda. In the comment section, just drop in your comment. We'll be reading it before we come to the end of the show today. Teekayo endowooza yo ky'oteesa ky'owabula. Butya ate abaana bwe basobola okuddamu okwagala science subjects. Edda ng'omwana waba akoze sciences aba waakabi nnyo, naye wenjogerera kati abaana abamu bakola sciences n'amaliriza n'agamba ye ate lwaki nakola sciences, I wish I did arts just because good over results tezivuddeyo bulungi. So our guest of the day ogenda kuba oguidinga on the students and what babazadde role yaabwe wanene eriruddawa, and then the teachers as well as the government on bwetawe basobola okwagazisa abaana bano okuddamu okufuna that love okukola science subjects. You're going to be guiding us on that. We're also going to be talking about the issue of the curriculum yakyusibwamu. I think it was in 2020 if I'm not mistaken. Curriculum yali ekyuse especially abaana abali mu secondary okuba nti mulimu ebimu ebyakyusibwamu konti tojja kumala budde bungi nnyo ng'osoma bino eby'omu kibiina byokka byokka wabula osobola okugattako n'ebyemikono era ebyo nabyo tugenda kuba tubidiscussingako. So be part of the discussion mu comment section oba oteeka endowooza yo. We'll be reading it before we come to the end of the show. Mr. George, so we all agree that it's easy to pass arts compared to sciences, right?
Yes.
So abaana bano
I mean, people to agree with her. Okay, no. We agree.
Tubagaza tutya to do these science subjects okuba nti they have that love or nga they yearn to do it, not because they are forced to, but they are doing it out of love nga tebabakase.
My thinking is, as I said, these young children need to be guided.
The guidance needs to be done by who? The teachers?
Even
the parents?
Even parents.
Okay.
Can start it because as a child starts from a home. The parents can guide the child. The teachers can guide the child, and even government can, it can be a policy where
the policymakers.
Yes, they can also. You find a student who has done sciences, has gone through the 5 years at the university to become a medical doctor. The payment is meager.
Yeah.
And then these people regret, why did I do
why they have taken all that time at the university, and they are touching on people's lives, and the payment is meager. That one discourages even students from doing the science subjects. Two, I think science subjects are not as hard as Lillian is putting it. In a school where I started teaching, that is Ruhanga Adventist Secondary School, when I was posted there in 1986, we didn't have a laboratory. And because I am a science teacher, my passion was to promote sciences in that school. I started by mobilizing the community so that we can build a science laboratory at the school.
Okay.
I was helped by the late Right Honorable Kategaya. And we mobilized the country, we got the money and built a laboratory. When the laboratory was built, many students were encouraged to do sciences. And I'm very proud that we produced doctors from Ruhanga Adventist Secondary School, which many people never thought we would do. We have a good number of alumni from Ruhanga who are practicing doctors. And I think if we put our efforts in ensuring that science subjects are taught in our schools, it is possible students can learn sciences. And by learning sciences, then teachers will be adding a brick on nation building.
But even teachers who teach these science subjects, the way they discourage students, like, if you want to louse around, this is not a joking subject, go and do those art subjects, go for history. So you see that they're already discouraging you.
Yes.
They're showing you that what you are headed for is really hard work.
She want even these students comfort that, oh, even if I don't do sciences, I know I'm going to be something in the future. I know I will pass. I know anything can happen.
And I remember when we just joined Senior 5, you see a lot of students doing combinations, science combinations. By the second term of Senior 5, they are coming back to science, to arts. They are dropping, they're running away from science, and they're joining you in the arts. And we will be there saying like, bagenda kuja. But so by second term, you see them coming. What is really the problem? Because we hope that the teachers, your role is keeping these students motivated and showing them you can do it even if you're finding it hard to really grasp chemistry or the formulas that are in there. But you can do it because they're not malaika, they're angels.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But the teachers, let's talk about the curriculum. The curriculum was made student-centered. The students should guide the teaching. So now the teachers are now relaxed. They will come to class because now it is not teacher-centered, it is student-centered. They will come to class, tell the students, we are going to study Napoleon. Go and read about him, why he failed, what led to his failure, do research. Because now it is student-centered. I cannot teach a topic that you don't have knowledge about. That is it. I don't have to come and introduce a new topic to you students that you don't have knowledge about. So I'll tell you, go and read. After, I'll come and explain, and we are done. Next topic. So I think it has led to a lot of relaxity among teachers, and it is leading to poor performance. Do you agree with me, Mr. George?
We were being told that a teacher is a center of knowledge. And, and I think that thinking was not proper because the children we teach have knowledge. They have some concept that they know, which we need to build and improve and perform, and the students will become what they feel like wanting to become. So now that the curriculum was changed from teacher-centered to student-centered, personally, I think I am comfortable with that. Yes.
But now teachers are relaxing. The teacher comes in class and tells you, you go
They're
and
like,
do research.
But we'll
and then that is the end of it.
Find me Freedom Square. Freedom Square.
So isn't this going to affect the students? Until mwana kati ya ino kwesto mesa ategere all these things ngomsomesa tamuyambieko.
No, I think this is what I think. The teachers are now getting into their right positions because the teachers are supposed to give a student only 20%.
And student is meant A.
Yes.
80% is meant
for yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And the us were not self-driven. We are used to be given, like you are
used to seeing a teacher on the blackboard writing and then explaining to us. And then after they give us just homework, a few questions, and then that is the end of it.
That was leading to students not, having the critical thinking. We are now trying to
create
critical thinking. Yes, okay. Yeah. Let the student think critically, analyze things, and
then this should have begun from the lower primary. Because now, these ones, because now it is being introduced in high school.
Yes.
But in primary, we are being given things like
spoon-fed.
We are spoon-fed. So when now you introduce to me, when I'm in senior and you are introducing this thing, you need to go and study and make your own research, come and just ask where you don't understand. This is going to cause a lot of problems.
I think with time, even the lower curriculum will be worked on. Yeah, will be worked on so that the student can come up knowing what to do.
But do you see this producing a lot of results?
It's a question of time. With time, we are going to get good results.
So we are sacrificing these ones for...
This is what I think.
Because really, I don't want to imagine a chemistry teacher coming and telling us,
go and research
about this, how it is prepared, and I will come and give you, I'll come and explain after some time. That is really, really
Farida, as I said, I'm a chemistry teacher. We were teaching students a topic on saponification, how to make soap. And it stops there. The student goes home, does not know how to make soap, and when I have taken time to teach him how to make soap.
Sometimes, yeah. We studied how to make soap, but this soap we make.
And
you don't remember? It wasn't there.
In what we were teaching, like biology, we were teaching students how a mosquito, where it lives, how it produces, and the higher value in teaching a student about a mosquito was to prevent that students from getting malaria. That would be the higher value. But here students would cram the parts of a mosquito, the processes of how it produces, and stops there. And you find that students suffering from malaria in their own homes. So getting that higher value from what we are teaching has always been lacking.
Should we say that, okay, maybe when we are talking about the making of soap, we do not have the things at home that can help us to, maybe I would want to really do it at home, but I don't have the money to buy these chemicals that you tell us. Since I remember, we used to add in some leaves, add in a few things, and then to make the soap. I remember we made it sometime.
Farida, I think at that time, students were learning how to make soap to pass exams. Yeah. At that time, we were reading, because a question will come on how to make soap, and you write it and you get your marks. But this time, we want the students to learn how to make soap so that he can also continue making soap at home.
But isn't it what is going to happen right now? Because one student will go and make their research, and then this one comes, research without them going to look for or to do research for themselves. Nachija from this other person, Najana handing her in.
I think that's the role where the teachers will need to.
But now teachers are relaxing because they told you to go and look for research. Yenas gala this side, they are just seated. Now kugamba, okay, if you don't understand something, you come to me.
It's a question of time. With time, the process is going to get improved.
But Mr. George, don't you think they rushed to change this curriculum? Or they would have prepared the students and then prepared the parents as well? Or this curriculum is now going to change from this.
Because most schools don't have libraries. They don't have these laboratories. So access to these reading materials is really hard. And our parents cannot afford to give us textbooks. I remember our dad bought us a textbook, but it had a mate kanobu, so it does not leave home. Whoever wants to read it, you read it from home, because you would imagine if you take it and you are not in the same school with your other siblings, so that means you are only benefiting alone. Yeah. So it should be left at home. You read, leave it there. Another person will have to use it. So the parents cannot afford these reading materials, and the schools don't have them. And you are telling us now the teaching is learner-centered. How am I going to do it as a student?
With anything to start, it has to start from somewhere. I think government has started from that,
to equip schools with these learning materials.
It should be.
They should be doing that.
Yes.
But even in government schools, these equipments are not there. And leave along the private schools, because for them we believe students are paying school fees. These people must procure these products or these items for them in the laboratories. But now there are government schools where even laboratories are not there.
Well, I don't know how government is going to come in and assist these existing schools, but at least I'm comfortable with this new curriculum.
Okay. I remember when I was in senior 4, we would move from where we were studying and go to another school because our school had no laboratory.
Yes.
So we do practicals from
that school.
From another school.
Yes.
It was like a long distance. You could move, but the teacher would guide you, go do your practicals, come back. I think it's the reason why we didn't perform very well. Now I have a reason why we didn't perform very well. Just realized we have. There is a reason. Learner-centered curriculum could be good. Maybe it is good as long as put.
No, it's good.
But given our environment that we learn from, it isn't sufficient. It is not something that you would put onto students because now there is no way these students are going to get the knowledge that you want them to get. They have no reading materials. They don't have anywhere to go and make research. Even the pamphlets are not there. I remember when I was there in my senior 6, we had like a small room like this, and it was the library. Very small. And the librarian was this arrogant person. You would go there, he will not give you a book. And he will not give you something that you need. I think it is good, but it was introduced in a wrong era. I think the government needs to do a lot to equip these schools with these reading materials, such that the students can do. I think the students can go and look for research, but from where if there are no reading materials? I think now it is the work of the government to do it. But they would have done that before they introduced the curriculum. They would have equipped the schools and then introduced the learner-centered when the environment favors the students to do the learner-centered curriculum.
I think you are right, Farida. Yeah.
So, Mr. George, we've been complaining about the quality of students above day in schools, into their job seekers instead of job creators. So are we going to see that changing since they introduced a new curriculum, or it's still going to be the same thing?
I think that's the reason why the curriculum was changed. We want to have job creators rather than having job seekers. I think with this new curriculum, we are going to see some things changing from our students seeking jobs. We are going to see our students creating jobs.
Okay.
That's what I think.
All right.
There was
a teacher, there is an association of teachers in the country.
Yes.
They were suggesting to add another class in primary from P7
P8.
to P8. Kuyambako these students to when they are making decisions, okugenda secondary, okay, I'm going in for arts or I'm going in for sciences. So could that work? Okuyambako abantu okusala okumakinga decisions eziri entuufu nga tannayingira secondary.
From my own thinking and from my experience, I did not agree with the addition of an 8th year onto primary, because even 7 years is a long time. Yeah, it's a long time.
Abana bamaliriza primary 7 nga they're not even sure whether ngenda kola, because most of the students abamaliriza primary, they're like, I want to be a doctor.
Yes.
But soma senior 1 and senior 2, that's when they know that, oh, I really want to be a doctor or I want to be a lawyer. So they leave primary wanting to be doctors or wanting to do science subjects. So when they reach secondary, just 2 years, they're like, no, I can't be a doctor. Things are hard. So this P8, right now I'm going to do sciences or I'm going to do arts.
So at P8, remember from secondary?
That is what they were saying.
No, even 1 year, the 8th year, I don't think it is sufficient for a student to decide which way to go. And my own children, I wanted them to become doctors. Because I'm a science teacher, I wanted them to do sciences. And they didn't like it. So it depends upon the students, the child, what he or she prefers to to be.
Yeah. Okay, Mukulu Man says, around 2000, when I was in senior one, we would be scared him. When you break anything in a lab, you buy it as a punishment. Then I was like, if I have no fees, how do I risk going to the school lab? For avoidance of breaking anything, I ended up doing Uganda. What did I break my tongue than breaking any equipment? I remember my sister telling me, and I only remember one thing in the laboratory. If you break a beaker, you buy it too. So I think this also if you break one, you buy it too. Uncle Ethan Mwinagamba, Lillian has some point though. Other than just teaching in English, there is practicality that goes into teaching chemistry. The chemicals and the litmus papers, all these things we failed. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Katugendera. Agamba lawyers teach lawyers, Farid. The teachers don't teach lawyers. So maybe a
lawyer is a teacher. Teacher, okay, that lecturer who is a lawyer.
A teacher.
Yes. Yeah.
Simagine argument ya waiver. Because you are a lecturer at asomesa abachi aba lawyer. So ate ne kuveno wansi bwa lawyer si yali akusomesa mkwano aba yali teacher yagenda mu PTC oba mu NTC. So bamikwano ebintu bino tutwale mpola mpola.
Ethan says, so Lillian wants a legislator and the teacher receiving the same pay. A legislator oversees, holds constituents and represents issues of doctors, casual workers and teachers alike. The teacher is doing the same thing year after year. They cannot get the same pay.
But it is year after year, but it is to different people.
Yes, different groups.
It is to different groups, so that gives a difference. If it was to the same people,
same people, same year.
But don't you think teachers by no club people who are in security, because whatever their pay is not so good?
If they are content, they may be content.
Are you sure they are contented?
Not there, but the reason because they are not raising their voices, it is a signal that they are content.
So they are serving a country. So I would think teachers
they are offering
would also
service.
would also copy from them. Don't you think so, Mr. George?
Well. I'm not grounded to talk much about the security guys. But I think they also have their grievances, because some of them, we find them misbehaving, torturing people. They could be expressing their discontent in some ways we have not really got to know. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Let's up says, let's believe together it's possible to pass arts effortlessly, and yet with the sciences, you have to really study too hard to pass. That's the fact. So maybe the science subjects require more teaching compared to the art subjects. But what is it?
Uncle Ethan Abuza, what do you think about having different schools teaching purely arts and different schools teaching only sciences? Maybe if they are surrounded by the similar environments, it would motivate them and I would focus so much on a particular issue, by the way. Like, tuvelena masomero, purely arts. And then pure science. If you want to go to do science, it is Mengo. If you want to do arts, it is Budo. So it's such that we know.
I think it can also be tried and we see how it works.
Since we are not sure
what now, we don't know.
But I think that one can work.
Ngabo tuina amasomero g'abawala bokka
n'abalenzi bokka.
So we try the same thing. Okay. To me, Mr. Norman says, to me, I was very smart at school. Choka, right from the science teachers to the students who do sciences, all looked lousy with their hair, which looked like for Rastafarian, or which looked like for Rastafarian. As for the students, science students were always shabby with busanirizo mumitwe, never combed, no tucking in or even bathing. But they are too busy with sciences. Since then, I was like, I can't mixture with these chaps. Konze kankole head, headstroke L than PEM naye still NC etuuba in the same way because I saw full doctors kneeling to a political scientist called Museveni. Now that is his argument. Because these students were shabby, but science students were shabby, right?
Where about you? The brother and yakola sciences in Gatasala and Vidi, so I don't
because they are too
understand
busy, so
how I was like a video, you saw me before more. I don't know why they don't really want to cut their hair, even not even comb it. Boba Beda or Bambing gave you because we were over Mochala Agamba Salongo. You as a teacher, do you think we need P8 in your opinion? Agambe.
In my opinion, I don't think we need P8.
I also don't think we need it.
Because the 7 years is a long period, yeah.
I've just thought about having science schools and then art schools. And then I remembered we need to do arts and sciences at the same time. Does that mean that someone who is doing sciences will not do anything that is concerning arts, will not study history, will not hear about the CREs? So that ends at primal and you go purely science. That's
kati bwe babanga mukulembeze gwanga asoso as a science teachers oba science oba abakola sciences.
Kati Mr. George, do you really believe the teachers still know their role in nation building as teachers, or they have just
teachers have this saying that the nation is, we are the nation is. I think they still know their role.
Are they really doing it?
In the circumstances, they are trying to do their roles.
They're trying.
They are trying.
So that means that there are obstacles.
There are so many obstacles.
What are these obstacles that are stopping teachers from doing their roles?
The economic hardships. You find teachers walking long distances, going to their places of work. There are no teachers' houses at many stations. You find teachers, their pay, what they receive cannot, enable them support their own children in schools. So teachers are having so many problems that they are going through.
Omusomesa ajja n'ayingira kiraasi nga yenna atooyanye bambi n'omusaasira.
Nga baloone bamunoonya.
Yeah. So they are getting these salary loans. You know, when you get a salary loan, bayinza okusala oba ofunaana basalanga 38. Bakulekerako ebiri. Kati ebiri giriise ewaka gikwambaza egirabira omwana, so you see akagatto nga bambi kagudde olubege kakomeeri. So what should be done for them to do their roles as teachers?
Teachers, in my view, teachers should be motivated, should be given some good pay. They should be thought about as people who are building the nation, because all the professions that we have in the country pass through teachers. It is teachers who, even a person qualifies to be a military personnel has to be taught. There is some instructor somewhere.
In the training schools.
Yes. So in my thinking, teachers should be thought about and be considered to have a good pay so that they can do their
Away
job.
from the salaries and the salary increment, is there any other thing that should be done to motivate these teachers?
Yeah, government can consider sponsoring children of teachers, and if they are given scholarships and it can motivate these teachers. They can settle and do their jobs.
At least in schools where these teachers are teaching, their students should be their kids should be studying for free.
Yeah, teachers, if they can be given, free treatment, if they can access treatment in hospitals, then they can. There are ways how we can motivate teachers to do their job properly.
Health insurance, mbasomesa je bagenda kanga kati buzibu ogenda busanga wachoka tatta maaso na akalubye engalo.
Yes.
Is there a way teachers can address their issues to the government nga teba striking ze?
You see, Lilian.
Because this, sorry to cut you short,
Yeah.
these strikes are affecting their students. Whenever these strikes are on, students are not getting what they have to get as students because these teachers are striking. Teacher tajja mchibina because they are striking. So student agenda kusomero just to play and then come back home.
You see, Lilian, for somebody to think of going on a strike, I think all ways of expressing the grievances and the inequalities
exploring all options.
Yeah, they were exhausted. So the only way to listen to that person is to strike. But I think there are some ways of how these guys can organize and present their grievances.
Do you think the Teachers Association has represented you well as teachers and it has really done its mandate as it is supposed to do?
Yes and no.
Tandikene, yes.
The association has organized us into
having one voice.
Having one voice, and I think they have tried to air our grievances to the bodies that are supposed to handle us. But what I think, what they get from these bodies that govern us is not what we expect.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why the problem is.
Question, wali abuza ku aunt, anyway, kansoke ono. Agamba, thank you for the show. My question is about science teachers who taught us how to make oxygen and so many other things in practical. Do these teachers know how to make these things practically for use, or they read them in books and that is all? We suffered with the need of oxygen during COVID-19. But by the way, why?
Mr. Judge is laughing. He's laughing at the teachers who are teaching us oxygen.
Do you really know to make this? Now you are a chemistry
teacher.
I'm a
chemistry teacher.
Do you really know to make these things?
I know how to make oxygen, but what use in making oxygen is not what I don't have. Yes.
So these doctors abali bavayo ku that we don't have oxygen during the COVID-19
so pandemic. They would have given you
they didn't understand this
no, they didn't have a thought about the science teachers. They would have just collected the chemistry teachers and put them in one place and start producing oxygen.
We were taught how to make oxygen, but once I don't remember.
No, we don't have.
I don't remember. So I believe balizeyo ne basomako mu bitabo ne bamanya how to make the oxygen. If you're suffering as a country.
Really, we know how to make oxygen. Now, because it's what we need to use to make oxygen, store oxygen, is what we are lacking.
If these teachers know how to make the things, why aren't they doing it as a side business, like you know how to prepare soap? Why aren't you preparing soap at home as a side business away from the small salary they are giving you at school?
So they prepare oxygen?
No, they prepare soap. As oxygen, they may not have the equipment to do it. But at least soap, you can access the things that you use in making soap. And they're not so expensive. So you can use this as a side business vis-a-vis as you go work for the Karamira salary they're giving you.
As I was saying, the ingredients to make soap, the ingredients to make oxygen are the ones that we lack. But the knowledge to make those things, we have the knowledge. But the ingredients.
They are not easily accessible in Chikubo here?
They are easily accessible, but the meager pay that we get, you cannot, have 5 children in school and you're catering for them in terms of school fees, and you spare some money to buy the ingredients to make a side business.
Do you really believe these teachers need refresher courses? Like, we have seen a teacher teaching from 2000. We are now 2022. Not going back to school. They're teaching the same things. Do you believe that there is need for these teachers to go back and
Farida, teachers need refresher courses. They really need refresher courses, yes.
So what is stopping the government to prepare this? Just do they need sponsorship? Should this be a personal thing that I am going back, or it is the government that should be preparing for?
My thinking is government should be thinking about these teachers and providing them with the refresher courses.
So that I just take my head there.
Yeah.
I don't need to pay tuition for it.
Yes.
The same way it is being done in the police. Like after some time, you go back for 3 months or 5. Such that you can have this knowledge that's area up to date. But we have teachers who have taught since 1990 and are still in school teaching the same things.
But now, still on that same issue, Mr. Judge, the quality of teachers we have right now.
Yes.
What is the problem compared to the quality of teachers we used to have those days?
I think the problem is on the current atmosphere that we have. We have so many things that need our attention as teachers now than before. As I was saying, if I'm looking after 5 children who are at the university, they need tuition, I don't think I will concentrate on what I'm doing as a teacher. Because I'll be running here and there to look for some loans, some money lenders, to make sure that my children are kept in school.
Okay.
So the attention of teachers now is drawn to so many things to keep the living.
Okay. So long as we conclude, do you think the political atmosphere has affected teachers or teaching as a profession? If yes, how?
I think it has affected the teaching profession, because when you look at their pay, at their payments, it's not, you know.
It is politics at play. Is it the leaders that don't understand or don't value the teaching profession? You want to
I
say?
think they don't value the teaching profession. It's not a priority. The priority in this country is about security, is about other things, not
the knowledge that people are getting.
Yes.
Call Ethan Abuza. By the way, Salongo, what are you up to in the ant? We didn't know you are ant, but if you ant,
I am a district coordinator, Alliance for National Transformation in Tungamo District. Alliance for National Transformation is a new party that registered in this country that is trying to see that this country gets onto proper
direction.
Yes.
Okay.
In terms of governance. Yes.
So how is it going on that side in Tungam? How is it? Has it been felt on ground?
Are people coming in? Are you getting members?
We are trying to build a process. It's an ongoing process. We are trying our best to see that Alliance for National Transformation in Tungamo districts is being grounded properly.
You said in your introduction you do a little bit of politics, so let's talk about the kidnaps that are all over the country. What is your say? What should be done?
We are scared about what is happening because it seems we are going back into the past days when people were being abducted and people disappearing, and we are getting worried as a country. The country is not safe, and we think government should, come out and help us in this. Because the role of government is to secure people, and if people are disappearing, then there's a big problem.
At 45 minutes, ezakaita kusawa 2 tuba tulaida chika 15 ndoza tugendere dala purely politics. Imposing waliwo question just tasomye nga ekuye kusaku busomesa nga yetaaga tujiddemu. Naye ndowooza tugenda tambulira ddala tudde ku politics unless then you have a question. Jemba
tugendere ddala nga bwe tubadde tugenze in politics.
Akadde kaba katwala tetusobola kukyaza mu politician ne twogera ku nsonga za byabufuzi ezigenda mu maaso mu ggwanga. ADF omukulu President Museveni yatugamba nti ADF obubinja buno bwe buli mu kuleetera okulumbagana okuli ku police stations ennaku zino. Ate just recently on Monday ADF yabalumbye Ntoroko wanene ebyalo bibiri byasenguse biri ku ssomero. They have not even provided them food the whole of yesterday. Abantu babadde waawo nga tebalidde. What is your say about the security situation in the country as it stands?
My thinking as a politician, I think the security in the country is not good, because if I was in Ntungam and I heard about a police post in Busika that was raided, then incidentally I studied in Bugema. I was in Bugema for 4 years. That was 1976 up to 79. And the war, the liberation war, when the Tanzanians were liberating us, found us in that place. And we got worried, our lives were at danger. So when I heard about that raid in Busika, I was touched. Well, I think there is a big problem in terms of security in this country.
Do you also think it is a politically motivated move? It is that the politics, as it is being said, that there are deserters that are attacking these people, or you could be having a different view away from the stories that are being told?
Farid, I think I have my own thinking, but
but you will not say it.
I'll not say it here.
Okay, if you are, just don't say it.
Yes.
So as Alliance for National Transformation, is there any way you've come out to talk about these issues or advise government on what needs to be done?
Our party president, Major General Mchamuntu, has had a lot of talk about some of these things, and I think at that level they are advising government.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. But we still have another issue. Farida ensonga ya abantu abajjajja kama ebikondo by'amasanyalaze. Still it's the same thing kubya security. Bana bagasalako baga.
Bajana ne machine ne basala ebikondo by'amasanyalaze. That is big. They come bajana mu machine as if bagenda sala miti mu mbibira. Ne basala emiti gy'amasanyalaze ebikondo by'amasanyalaze. Yali basanga ndowooza ekifo ekiririzatedde awatayita abantu, and then ne basala ebikondo by'amasanyalaze. Agamba kati mbadde nga mulowooza nti mulina amasanyalaze, you can be at peace. Kati bajjeko amasanyalaze. This country needs some kind of revelation. I think it is the whole thing. But ANT, let's talk about ANT.
Yes.
You people are really quiet. We are not listening. We are not hearing you anywhere. Okay, we had the commodity prices rising, going up, and we expected political parties to come up and advocate for finger abantu bo wansi twagala okubalabanga you at the forefront for us to join, but you are really quiet on everything that's happening in
human rights violations.
Human rights violations are up there, and you are really quiet. And what are you up to as a political party?
We are not quiet as such, but we are on ground. We are trying to see that our people get to understand what is happening, so that we can chat.
You are building structures.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, that's true.
So you are doing this for how long? Up till 2026?
No. At a given time, we shall come up and brief the country where we have reached.
Are there any achievements so far on the structures you're building? especially in Tungam, where you
we have not reached where we want to reach, but it's work in progress.
Oh, okay. I think we are coming to the end of the show today, so closing remarks
and what he enjoys to do in his free time.
First of all, I want to thank the Digitalk family for inviting me to be a guest. I want to thank Lydia, I want to thank Farida for hosting me. And I want to give my advice to teachers, those serving teachers and those who have retired, to keep the spirit of building our nation. The nation is because teachers are there. It is us who are supposed to build capacities in many different, careers. The conduct of our population, there is rampant corruption. We need to build our nation properly. What I normally do in my free time, I enjoy listening to music and reading novels.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Any advice to the parents during this long holiday?
These parents who force us to do courses that we don't want.
I wanted to.
Your question is personal.
I wanted to advise parents not force students to do the courses they really don't want. I think I was interacting with one parent who forced a child to do a course the child didn't want. After finishing the course, he said, "I've done your course.
Your degree is there?
I've gone." And parents, you have children for holidays. I wanted to advise parents to keep watch over the children, sit with the children, talk to your children and advise them on what to do. Yeah. Because there are so many attractions that get to these young growing children, which may not be good if they don't get proper advice. And the first teacher in a home is a parent.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Nasa tugenda kuba tuwunzikira wano olunaku olwaleero. Program The Mighty Drive nekitambudde naye nga kutegeeza ku ssaawa 5 ez'amakya g'olunaku olwaleero. So retired Justice Professor George Wilson Kanyihamba yagenda kuba ayongera okulambulula ku nsonga za ssemateeka osobole okuba nga ate naawe obitegeera bulungi ebintu bino nga bwe bitambula oba nga bwe bikola. Olunaku olwaleero twogedde ku nsonga z'abasomesa. So ng'ovudde ku nsonga z'abasomesa, omukulu omulamuzi eyawummula Professor George Wilson Kanyihamba yagenda kuba tuyisizaamu ku ssemateeka na biki abyogera, so that gwe omuntu ali eyo osobola okuba nga obitegeera era omanya munnange amateeka butya ssemateeka eno biki abyogera ku nsonga ziba zigenze mu maaso mu ggwanga erya Uganda. So tosobwa ku ssaawa 5 ojja kuba nga ate programu eno ogyota buliro. Njagala kwebaza mugenyi waffe olunaku olwaleero omwami Karamira George atuwadde akadde akalungi nasobola okuba nga alambulula ku nsonga z'abasomesa kyekyetaagisa okuba nga kikolebwa n'abakulu ki kye beetaaga okuba nga bakola. Njagala okubeebaza mwenna abatugoberedde abakomentinze baneetweyanziza nnyo tweyanzege discussion eno mugisobozesezza okuba nga etambula bulungi oba nga egenda mu maaso bulungi nnyo. Nze omumbejja luwedde Lydia mbadde n'omukyala Farida Bekobe ndowooza era yaba atugira ddala wano eno ate tusinkane omulundi ogujja. Mukyala Farida tugire ddala wano eno ate
Salo ng'ayogeddeko ayagala nnyo okusoma obutabo. Nanjijukiza naye abawandiika CV ne mugamba I can work under pressure. You people, no one works under pressure. I'm like, don't say I can work under pressure. Others, my hobby is reading. You have never even read like a small novel like this. Stop. But now, see if you take a copy of your also, I cannot work under pressure, but I can work under minimum supervision. I think that is okay. Also, working under pressure. So I was reading some posters. I lied when I said I can work under pressure. I cannot manage pressure at all. Constitution wa muno mukolo George Wilson Kanyehamba no mwami no manto muhembe. See you then. A very good morning.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.